Yeah.
Confetti. We learn every day.
So, there's a lot that happened over the weekend. In terms of Mondays, it's quite a lot.
This
it's quite hard
weekend, plenty
to pick. Yeah, plenty happened. Plenty happened. I wish we had like 30 minutes. We'll go over from sports to entertainment to lifestyle, and then, of course, to brother love. Or to love.
You and
my name is love.
As it
brother love.
You see, I've always said that when somebody in open tries too hard to try to prove something, there's a problem. Yes, when somebody tries too hard, when you try too hard to show that you are happy, do you want something because you need it or because you want people to know that you have it? Do you want this happiness? Do you want this thing? Do you want this image? Because you personally, that image is you, or that is the image you want people to see of you. That has been the case with Sean Combs, as it were. In fact, from Brother Love, he said he's now love. He's not even brother. He took out the brother. He said, I'm now love. And then he exuded, or should I say, he put out this persona, which is a facade, as it were, of how much of a brotherhood in some ways, or a fraternity he has of good vibes. You know that thing about people who always want to share good vibes, I'm good vibes, you know, so much. But you see, the interesting thing about all that happened when we saw that video from 2016, which is about 8 years ago, which showed him brutalizing. This was not even domestic violence. This was not domestic. Okay, what's the opposite of domestic? International.
Assault.
This was not assault.
Wow.
Man, this was much.
It's a public.
And this was,
domestic.
this was in a hallway of a hotel. You know that there are cameras.
Yeah.
Of course, he purportedly paid off some staff of the hotel not to release that. He kicked her, and it was her submissiveness.
Yeah.
It was how she just laid down without fighting back.
So
and you know when that
see
happens
you
to a
could
victim.
Exactly, you could see that she had been through it before, and she knew
it's
that
normal, like
if she didn't just stop where she was, it would probably get worse. So she just stayed calm. She didn't fight back.
He threw a vase.
Yeah.
Some sort of a vase.
You know what?
And I wonder what this girl could have gone through in those 8-10 years she was with this man. And then, but it was the apology in quotes. He never apologized to her directly.
No.
And so the issue is this. It's like you are wrong or you apologize when you get caught. You didn't know all of this. You could not. He denied everything, every charge. Over and over again from her and others, and said they were looking for a payday. Fans all came after Cassie and all of that. Yeah. He denied it, and then now you come up disheveled face and all. Yeah, we should put up a camera and all of that. Oh, we can't do that. I can make it seem like I'm sorry for the biggest crime in the world. But it's just this. From what I want to point out is for women. How can we help women who are going through such things and are quiet? Because a lot of them, Halima was asking me the other time that how come for all these years she was quiet? And, you know, the victims of violence and assault, as it were, it seems like they've been cowered into silence and they can't say anything.
Okay, go ahead.
I was going to talk about power, and I'll tell you what I mean.
Power.
So you know how it is where maybe a regular person who doesn't have so much is committing domestic violence. The woman feels, oh, I can run to the police, I can run to his family, I can run to this. But in a situation where she has seen him buy people who were witnesses, buy them off, she has seen him act like nothing they happen, nothing
he has even finished some people's careers.
Exactly. Yeah. She has seen him do so many things that she feels she's in a helpless situation. When the bodyguard saved her, because for years, some of these deeds by Diddy were making the rounds. People were hearing rumors, that's what they were being called. So when she left, people were like, finally she has left him, at least she'll be able to marry. The thought was Diddy didn't marry her. Nobody knew the other side, only as rumors. Now this video that was released by CNN, it was more or less a case of, okay, earlier this year, Cassie just wanted a payday, and then when they settled out of court, she just needed money. And then people were mocking her.
And then
I actually feel like her, saying she just needed, that maybe because her bodyguard husband is broke, they needed to collect money from Diddy to sustain. A lot of things were said.
So you know the funny thing, I even feel like the fact that it was even CNN that brought it up was that all the other TMZs and Shade Rooms and all those other platforms, all the other bloggers had probably been in my
Paid
opinion,
off?
paid off or silenced over time. That was why it had to go all the way to an international news carrier to release that video.
And then his house
If
was
you
recently
have-
raided. So many
Yes.
people believe that it was still... You know, some of these folks are so confident, they keep memorabilia of
Yeah.
some of these things.
Exactly.
Like, if you had that tape in your house, why are you keeping it?
It's actually
Because
possible.
you feel nothing there.
So I was even thinking about, from Cassie's point of view now, the money she collected, girl, thank you for taking that bag. Oh. Just start your life
the bag
again.
full enough?
The bag, it was a good bag she collected.
Yeah, I think
For what she went
was at least 30 million or so.
She collected a good bag.
Not sure.
For what she went through, she deserved to. So a lot of people would have said, why didn't you fight? Why didn't you just go on trial? It would have prolonged the pain. It would have prolonged the issue, and she wouldn't have been able to move on so quickly. So in my opinion, yes, she did the right thing. She took the money and she ran because she knows the sort of person they're dealing with. What if he paid people in court? What if he, you just never know where it
And
was
it's just
going
going to get messy because
Exactly.
he's a very, very
So,
interesting character.
her keeping quiet was probably for fear of her life, and there are a lot of women going through, similar situations where they just have this feeling that this man is going to... In fact, the way people look at women, God forbid I was in that situation. You know how cuddly and nice my husband is? Would you ever believe he's the one that caused the trouble? No.
Yeah.
And
You would never believe.
what you just
So,
said is so true. In most
exactly.
cases, abusers look the most innocent.
Exactly. That's
You
the
would
issue.
never believe they were the abuser.
An
and they
international
then
brand
some
like
people,
him?
Some people go about say, oh, do you know what she did before that?
No, that one is normal. Some people will always say that.
So this is it, yeah. There is a DSVRT in Lagos and I think around the country. You can report cases of domestic violence to them. While you guys will talk, I will look for the numbers. I will give them. Wherever you can, please talk, let it out to somebody. This is one of the reasons, one of the virtues of social media. We've seen people who have cried out on social media and helped
gotten justice at least.
So to any of you, any woman out there, or even man, there are some men who are even the ones going through domestic violence, as it were. You can go reach out to the DSVRT. I will get the numbers and talk to somebody. I'm not saying someone around you, a high authority who can do something about it.
I
the
believe it's
misconception-
imperative to point out that domestic violence is not normal. I've actually seen it's
Some
not
families
normal.
say,
The word
it's
for me
normal
is
now.
normal.
And
I've been seeing posts
terrible.
on social media, people justifying it, people saying, oh, their mothers went through it. People say, oh, in some cases, their fathers went through it. It is not normal. That's the truth. Domestic violence is not normal, no matter how you look at it. Yes, you can say, oh, she triggered me. That's where your self-control comes into play. Yes, he did something annoying. That's where your self-control comes into play. You do not take out your anger on another human being, especially so brutally. You see some women with bruises all over.
And they think it's acceptable.
You are beating a pregnant
So the
woman to the point she
misconception-
loses her pregnancy.
Wow. The misconception is that you can't get justice. Misconception is that speaking out is weakness. Speaking out is actually the bravest thing you can do. Being in that situation and speaking out about it, some people just feel the person was weak and couldn't handle it. That's why she decided to talk. No, she was brave enough. He was brave enough to come out and talk about it. That is why they did that. So try and find that strength, that bravery within yourself to speak out if, for instance, you're going through something like that.
And let's stop shaming those who actually do speak out. Let's stop it.
Okay, so it's the DSVA, and the number is 0800 033 3333. 0800 033 3333. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 6 threes after the 0800.
Yeah.
0800 6 threes.
2063.
Yes, 0800 63. That's the Lagos State Domestic and Sexual Violence Agency. I will check if
They'll
for
provide
something
a lawyer for you.
around the country.
You will get, they will make sure you get your benefits, such as child welfare,
care.
you would even have the man take care of you since you are married. See, there are so many things.
Yeah.
And this also applies to men. in abusive marriages. There are certain ways you can get justice. I beg.
All right, we'll take a time out now. We'll be back in a bit.